Hello, and welcome. There is nothing for you to do now, nothing to solve, and nothing to hold on to. Take a slow, deep breath in, feeling the air fill your lungs, cool and clean. And as you exhale, feel the tension in your shoulders begin to release, letting them drop just a little, as a heavy weight you no longer need to carry is set gently down upon the floor. With each breath, you feel yourself becoming heavier, safer, sinking deeper into the surface that supports your thoughts, which may have been racing like chariots, begin to slow, their pace slackening, their edges softening, until they are merely drifting, like clouds across a vast and empty sky. Tonight, we are not just closing our eyes to the present, we are opening them in another time. We are traveling back through the centuries, to a single, perfect night in the year 120. We find ourselves in Rome, the heart of a sprawling empire. But the heart is quiet now. The great city, a vibrant and clamorous beast by day, has fallen into a deep and profound slumber. The legions of vendors have packed their stalls, the senators have retired to their villas, and the endless river of people has receded, leaving the cobblestone streets empty and glistening under the pale light of a high moon. You are here. You have come to a place of sanctuary, a place of ultimate luxury and solitude. Before you stands one of the city's great public baths, a colossal structure of marble and travertine, its grand arches and colonnades looking more like a temple to the gods than a place of simple hygiene. But tonight, it is not public tonight. It is yours alone. You have arranged for it to be opened for you, and only for you, a private haven in the heart of the world's greatest city. The massive bronze doors, which groan and thunder during the day with the passage of thousands, are shut fast. A smaller, more discreet side entrance was opened for you by a silent attendant, who bowed and melted back into the shadows, leaving you to the magnificent emptiness within. You have already passed through the antechambers, leaving the last vestiges of the outside world behind. Your toga, your tunic, the cares and responsibilities of your station, they have all been shed, left in a quiet dressing room, the Tepidarium to be retrieved when you are ready, though that time feels a world away. Now, you are walking barefoot. You are moving through a long, vaulted corridor, and the floor beneath your feet is a mosaic of tiny, polished stones, depicting scenes of nereids and dolphins. But it is not the art that commands your attention. It is the warmth, a deep, penetrating, and utterly soothing heat radiates up from the marble, a gentle caress on the soles of your feet. This is the magic of the hypocaust, the ingenious Roman furnace system hidden deep below. An army of slaves far beneath you in the belly of the earth is tending to slow burning fires, their heat channeled through a network of tunnels and flues, warming the very bones of this stone palace. The warmth rises through the floor, through the walls, infusing the very air you breathe with a soft, gentle heat that unknots muscles you didn't even know were tense. Your pace slows, a natural response to this profound comfort. As you move deeper into the heart of the bathhouse, the corridor opens into a vast, cavernous space, and the air grows thick with a soft, swirling mist. This is the Tepidarium, the warm room, a transitional space of perfect body temperature comfort. The chamber is immense, the ceiling a series of high coffered barrel vaults that soar into the darkness above, so high that the shadows seem to swallow them whole. Colossal columns of veined marble, their surfaces cool and smooth to the touch, stand like ancient trees in a forest of stone, supporting the impossible weight above. The only light comes from a few ornate bronze oil lamps, placed in high niches, their small, steady flames casting a flickering golden glow that dances upon the damp surfaces and makes the shadows long and deep. The air is still and heavy, saturated with moisture, and the silence is a physical presence. It is a deep, resonant silence, the kind that can only exist in a space built to hold the roar of a crowd. Now occupied by only one, you walk towards the source of the steam, your footsteps echoing softly in the great hall. Before you is a wide, sunken pool, its surface as smooth and dark as polished obsidian, disturbed only by the gentle, hypnotic swirling of the vapor rising from it. The water is perfectly level with the surrounding floor, held in place by a beautifully crafted rim of mosaic tiles that depict a winding grapevine, each tiny piece of coloured glass and stone a testament to the artisan's skill. The warm, damp air wraps around you like a heavy blanket, and you feel your breathing slow, sinking with the calm, quiet atmosphere of the room. Your own reflection is a faint, wavering ghost on the surface, a soft-edged silhouette against the golden lamplight. With a slow, deliberate movement, you step down a series of wide, shallow marble steps that descend into the pool. The moment your foot touches the water, a wave of profound relief washes over you. It is the warmth seeps into your legs, chasing away any lingering chill from the night air, and you feel the muscles in your calves and hamstrings begin to soften and lengthen. Finally, you submerge your entire body, sinking down until the water is up to your shoulders, and you let out a slow, quiet breath you didn't realize you had been holding. The sheer bliss of the sensation is absolute. You are weightless, suspended in perfect warmth, in perfect silence. You drift for a moment, letting your body adjust, letting the stillness of the place seep into your very being. You push off gently from the side, floating towards the center of the immense pool. The water ripples around you, the only movement in the vast chamber. The soft lapping sound as the water kisses the mosaic edge is a gentle, rhythmic percussion, a lullaby for one. You tilt your head back, letting your ears dip just below the surface, and the world goes wonderfully quiet. The gentle lapping becomes a muted, internal thrumming, the sound of your own slow heartbeat joining the rhythm of the water. Your eyelids feel heavy, and you let them close for a long moment, simply existing in this state of pure sensory input. The warmth of the water on your skin, the feeling of weightlessness in your limbs, the heavy, damp air on your face, the profound, echoing silence of the hall. You open your eyes again and look up into the soaring darkness of the vaulted ceiling. High above, where the warm, moist air meets the cooler stone of the roof, condensation has formed. You watch, mesmerized, as tiny droplets gather, swell and tremble, catching the distant flicker of lamplight like minute, hanging jewels. And then one drop lets go. It falls, a single, perfect sphere of water, tracing a long, silent arc through the misty air. It seems to take an eternity to fall, and then it strikes the surface of the pool. It doesn't make a splash, but a single, clear, resonant note, a sound like a tiny silver bell, a perfect fate-link fey that echoes and reverberates throughout the cavernous space. The sound hangs in the air, its echo stretching out, long and ethereal. You find yourself listening for the next one, your entire being focused on that one small anticipated sound. It is a meditation. The world shrinks, the echo blooms, a flower of sound in a garden of quiet, and then it, too, fades. Your mind, emptied of all its daytime clutter, has nothing to do but listen to this simple, beautiful rhythm, the rhythm of stillness. As you float, lost in this tranquil trance, a new sound, almost imperceptibly soft, enters the space. It is the quietest of footsteps, the sound of soft-soled slippers on damp marble. You don't turn your head. The sound is not alarming. A servant approaches the edge of the pool, his movements slow and deferential, careful not to disturb the sanctified peace of the room. He kneels silently on a folded linen cloth, placing a small wooden tray beside him on the warm floor. On the tray sits a small, elegant glass bottle, with a long, thin neck filled with a golden liquid, and a strigil, a curved bronze scraper used for cleansing. The servant is a shadow at the edge of your perception. His presence felt more than seen. He waits, motionless, for your acknowledgement. It is a beautiful piece of craftsmanship, the glass from Alexandria, tinged with a faint blue-green hue. You hear the faint, dry rasp of his fingers on the glass as he carefully removes the small cork stopper. A delicate fragrance immediately unfurls into the air, weaving itself into the steam. It is the scent of roses, not the sharp, sweet scent of a fresh bloom, but the deep, rich, and complex perfume of distilled rose oil, blended with the green, nutty aroma of the finest cold-pressed olive oil. The scent is calming, luxurious, and deeply comforting. It is a slow, thick, viscous fey glug. Glug, glug, fey. A deep and satisfying sound as the thick liquid oozes into the palm of his hand. The sound is close, intimate, and it seems to amplify the feeling of relaxation that has already settled deep into your bones. He waits a moment, warming the oil between his palms, the soft rubbing sound of his hands barely audible over the lapping of the water. Then, with your silent permission, he begins. He is standing in the shallowest part of the pool now, the water just above his ankles, and he leans over you as you rest your arms on the smooth his hands, slick with the warm, scented oil, make contact with your shoulders. The touch is firm, knowing, and impossibly slow. There is no hurry, no agenda other than the complete and total release of every knot of tension in your body. His thumbs press into the muscles at the base of your neck, finding the exact points of stress from a day spent poring over scrolls or holding the weight of command. He presses, holds, and then slowly circles, and you feel a lifetime of tightness begin to melt away under his expert touch. The sound of his hands moving over your skin is another layer in the symphony of the night. It is a soft, frictional, gliding sound, a continuous fish, as the oil eliminates any resistance, allowing his palms and fingers to move in long, unbroken strokes. He works his way from your neck down across your shoulder blades. His movements are rhythmic, predictable, as soothing as the falling drops of water. With each long, sweeping motion, you can feel the muscles lengthening, the fibers softening, the deep-seated tension dissolving like salt in water. Your mind, which was focused on the sound of the falling drops, now turns its attention inward to the sensations unfolding within your own body. You feel the warmth of his hands, the rich scent of the rose oil filling your senses, and the profound, almost magical release of tightness in your back. Your arms are floating loosely in the water, and he takes one, lifting it gently. He works his way down your arm, from the bicep to the forearm, his thumbs pressing into the muscles, his fingers wrapping around and squeezing with a gentle, consistent pressure. The feeling is one of deep, penetrating relief. You had not realized how much tension you held in your arms, the residual strain of gesture and command, until you feel it being so expertly erased. He massages your hands, pressing into the palm, gently pulling each finger, releasing the stiffness from a day of writing or gripping the reins of a horse. The process is methodical, the slow, repetitive motions, the constant, gentle pressure, the enveloping warmth. Your eyelids are so heavy, fluttering, threatening to close for good. The line between the feeling of the warm water and the feeling of the warm oil on your skin begins to blur, until it is all one continuous sensation of perfect, enveloping comfort. The servant moves with a quiet grace that speaks of years of practice. He is not just a servant. He is a master of his art, an artist whose medium is relaxation. His touch is impersonal, yet profoundly intimate, focused entirely on the mechanics of your body and the unwinding of its stress. As he works, the world outside this marble hall ceases to exist entirely. There is no empire, no duty, no tomorrow. The here and now of warm water, of scented oil, of firm hands, of echoing silence. Time itself seems to have slowed, stretching out like the long echoes of the falling water drops. Truly held so rigidly. Finally drop, truly. You feel your jaw, which you unconsciously clench, go slack. A wave of deep, profound heaviness spreads through your entire body, a pleasant, leaden weight that anchors you to this moment, to this feeling of absolute safety and peace. Thoughts arise, but they are hazy, indistinct, like the steam swirling at the far end of the hall. They have no purchase, no sharp edges. They appear for a moment, soft and shapeless, and then they simply dissolve, leaving no trace. Your focus is entirely sensory. The scent of rose and olive, the sound of water and skin, the feeling of warmth and pressure. It is a state of being that is almost dreamlike, a conscious slumber where you are aware of your own deep relaxation. The servant's hands move down to your lower back, applying a steady circular pressure that eases the ache from a day of sitting or standing. Every touch is a reminder to let go, to release, to surrender to the stillness. And you do. You surrender completely, holding in this luxurious night, cocooned in the heart of your empire. You have found a quiet that is more valuable than gold, a peace that is more powerful than any army. You are simply here, floating in the warm darkness, and it is more than enough. The world can wait. For now there is only this. The long, slow strokes of the massage begin to change. The pressure lessening, the movements becoming even slower, more gentle. The servant's hands glide over your back one last time, a final sweeping gesture that seems to gather up any remaining fragments of tension and cast them away into the water. Then, the pressure is gone. The touch ceases. His hands have left yours for a moment. The absence of the touch is as powerful a sensation as the touch itself. The skin on your back and shoulders tingles, alive with the memory of the pressure, still radiating the warmth of the oil. The servant moves away as silently as he arrived. You hear the faintest splash as he steps out of the pool, the soft rustle of linen as he dries his hands, and then the whisper of his slippers on the marble, receding, growing fainter and fainter, until the sound is completely absorbed by the immense silence of the hall. And then you are alone again, truly alone. The silence that returns is different now. Now it is the silence of your own stilled mind, projected onto the room around you. You push off the steps again with the slightest of efforts, and allow yourself to float on your back in the center of the Tepidarium. Your ears are underwater, and the world is muffled, distant, dreamlike. The only sound is the internal rhythmic pulse of your own blood, a slow and steady beat, and the occasional celestial fate-link fay of a water drop from the ceiling, its echo now sounding even more vast and resonant in the deep quiet of your mind. Your eyes are closed, but you can still sense the light from the oil lamps, a soft, warm, golden glow perceived through your eyelids. It is not bright, just a gentle suggestion of light in the darkness. Your limbs feel impossibly heavy, as if they are made of stone, yet you are floating, weightless. It is a strange and wonderful paradox. You feel anchored and adrift at the same time, Your breathing is the slowest it has been all day, a deep, diaphragmatic rhythm that requires no effort at all. Each exhale feels like you are sinking just a little deeper into the water, a little deeper into relaxation, a little deeper towards the shores of sleep. Your body knows what to do. It is remembering a state of perfect rest, a state of being that is your natural inheritance, but which is so often forgotten in the rush of the world. The steam continues to rise from the water, swirling in slow, hypnotic patterns above you. You can feel its soft, damp touch on your face, your forehead, your cheeks. The air is so thick with it, it feels like you could reach out and hold it, a tangible cloud of warmth and peace. The scent of rose oil is still with you, a gentle, constant presence. It is no longer sharp, but has mellowed, mingling with the mineral scent of the water and the clean smell of the marble, creating a unique perfume that exists only in this room. On this night, it is the scent of absolute tranquility. Your skin, the water, the air, the stone. It all feels connected, part of one single peaceful entity. The falling of the water drops is the only clock, and it does not measure seconds or hours, but moments of pure being. Fatelink faker. Moment passes. Fatelink fay another moment. There is no past to regret, no future to plan for. There is only your mind is a calm, dark lake, its surface perfectly smooth, reflecting only the faint, distant starlight of the lamps high above. No thoughts ripple its surface. No worries disturb its depths. It is a state of profound, deep stillness. The very cells of your body seem to be humming with a low, quiet energy of contentment. Every muscle is slack. Every nerve is at peace. You are being held, supported, and kept safe by the warm water, by the strong stone, by the deep silence. You feel a gentle, slow drift as the subtle currents of the pool carry you. You are moving, but with no effort, no intention. You are simply being carried. It is the feeling of surrender, of letting go of control and trusting that you will be taken care of. And you are. This space was built for this. This moment was designed for you. It is a sanctuary carved out of the heart of the world. Your eyelids are sealed shut now, not by force, but by a heavy, pleasant weariness. The desire to open them is gone. The softens. You are floating down a slow, wide river, and the banks are receding into the mist. The last vestiges of the waking world are fading. The last embers of thought are glowing softly, and then winking out one by one. All that is left is the feeling of floating, the feeling of warmth, the feeling of peace. Allow this feeling to expand, to fill you completely. Let it carry you away from here, away from this room, away from this story, and into the deep, restorative, and dreamless sleep that awaits you. The water holds you in its perfect silken embrace, neither hot nor cold, but the precise, blissful temperature of blood and life. You are floating, suspended in a state of grace, your body weightless and your mind untethered from the day, its endless clamour of wagons, of merchants, of marching legions and boisterous crowds has finally dissolved into a profound and welcome silence, leaving only this sanctuary of steam and stone that you have claimed for yourself. Here, in the heart of the Tepidarium, you are the sole emperor of a silent world, the only soul in this vast, vaulted chamber of tranquility. Your head rests against the cool, polished curve of the marble ledge, and your hair, damp and heavy, fans out in the water behind you. You let your eyes drift half closed, the lashes casting faint, feathery shadows on your skin in the soft, indirect light. The air is thick with moisture, a warm, breathable mist that smells of clean water and heated stone. High above, in the cavernous dark of the barrel, vaulted ceiling, unseen sources of light cast a gentle diffused glow downwards, catching the swirling vapours and turning them into a slow, ghostly river that flows through the upper air. The light is not the harsh, flickering orange of an open flame, but a steady, honeyed radiance, filtered through alabaster panels or reflected from polished bronze. A light designed not to illuminate, but to soothe. It paints the upper reaches of the columns in soft gold and leaves the corners of the great room in deep, restful shadow. You feel the day's tensions dissolving, the knots in your shoulders and the small aches of responsibility simply melting away, carried off by the slow, imperceptible current you create with each deep, steady breath. Your breathing is already slowing, finding a natural, quiet rhythm that seems to match the gentle pulse of the space around you. Exhale, and you release a small, almost invisible cloud of your own breath, which joins the soft mist rising from the pool, becoming one with the atmosphere of the room. You are not just in this place, you are becoming a part of it. The water, the steam, the stone, the silence, and then there is the sound. In the profound quiet, your hearing has become exquisitely sharp, attuned to the most delicate of noises. It is a symphony of subtlety first. There is the gentle lapping of the water, the soft liquid whisper it makes as it kisses the intricate mosaic tiles that line the pool. The wavelets are small, created only by the slow rise and fall of your own chest. You can hear the tiny, crisp sound as a wavelet breaks against the sharp edge of a tessera, a miniature sigh of water against stone. You trace the patterns with your eyes half closed, a swirling depiction of Neptune's chariot, pulled by magnificent hippocamps, their tails of shimmering blue and green tile curving through a sea of white marble. The rippling surface of the water distorts the image, making the seahorses appear to dance and swim, their forms constantly shifting, melting, and reforming in the gentle light. The effect is hypnotic, a slow liquid dance that pulls your focus deeper and deeper into a state of calm. But it is the other sound, the true heartbeat of this chamber, that commands your attention. High, high above in the unseen dome, the warm steam condenses against the cooler stone, gathering into heavy, perfect spheres of water. For a long moment, a droplet will hang there, swelling, shimmering, a tiny jewel of captured light in the darkness. And then, its own weight becomes too much to bear. The journey down is long and silent, a graceful, invisible arc through the vast space, and then it strikes the surface of the pool. The sound is not a simple splash, but a note of pure, crystalline music. A single, resonant fade-rip fade is a sound so clear, so perfectly formed, that it seems to hang in the air for an eternity. The acoustics of the vaulted chamber are flawless, designed to carry a senator's voice, but in this emptiness, they carry this one perfect note, magnifying it, stretching it, allowing it to echo and reverberate through the hall. The echo rolls around the high ceiling, a ghostly whisper that fades slowly, gently, until it is completely absorbed by the stone and the silence. And for a few heartbeats, there is nothing, a perfect, profound quiet. And then, from another part of the ceiling, another drop lets go, and the celestial music plays again, fade-rip, asterisk, and the long, slow, beautiful echo that follows. You find yourself listening for it, waiting for it, your entire consciousness narrowing to this one simple recurring event. The space between the drips is as important as the sound itself, a deep, restful pause that allows your mind to completely empty. It is a clockwork of nature, a water clock measuring a time that has no hours, no minutes, only a slow, steady, peaceful progression into deeper and deeper relaxation. Your shoulders, which you hadn't even realized were tense, drop a little further into the water. The muscles in your neck release their grip, each drip, and you obey, as one echo fades completely into the warm, misty air. A new sound, so subtle it is almost a feeling, enters your awareness. It is the sound of bare feet on warm, dry marble, a soft rhythmic padding that is almost entirely without weight. It is the sound of a presence that has mastered the art of invisibility. You don't open your eyes, you don't even turn your head. There is no need. You know who it is. Your personal servant, Lycomedes, a quiet man from the Greek Isles, who moves with the silent grace of a cat. He has been with your family for 2 decades, and he understands your needs before you are even aware of them yourself. His silence is a form of respect, a promise not to disturb the perfect tranquility you have purchased at such great expense. You feel more than see, his shadow falling near you, a momentary interruption in the diffuse glow from the floor. You hear a soft, satisfyingly solid thump Fay as he places a small wooden tray beside the pool. On it, you know, are the tools of his craft. A strigil of polished bronze, a flask of oil, and fresh linen towels. Then comes a delicate, precise sound, the faint, glassy scrape of a stopper being twisted from the neck of a bottle. It is a small, ornate flask of deep blue Roman glass, you recall, a vessel you have seen 100 times. The sound is followed by a moment of silence, and then a new scent begins to unfurl in the air, weaving its way through the simple aroma of steam and stone. It is the deep, intoxicating fragrance of roses, not a light, fleeting floral note, but the rich, velvety, almost spicy scent of damask rose petals, harvested at dawn and steeped for weeks in the finest first. Press olive oil from your family's estates in Umbria. The fragrance is a luxury in itself, a scent that speaks of wealth, of empire, of gardens blooming under a southern sun. It fills your senses, warm and deeply comforting, a preamble to the relaxation to come. Then comes the sound of the oil itself. Lycomedes tilts the flask, and the thick, viscous liquid begins to pour into the cup of his palm. The sound is slow, rich, and deeply satisfying. It is not the thin trickle of water, but a low, syrupy, glugging Fay sound, a bubble of air fighting its way up the narrow neck of the bottle for each measure of golden green liquid that is released. Fay glug, glug, asterisk, a slow, rhythmic beat. You can almost feel the texture of the oil just from the sound. Imagine its heavy, smooth consistency, its absolute purity. He does this 3 times, filling his palm with a generous pool of the scented oil. The scent of rose and olive intensifies, blooming in the warm air, a perfect harmony of floral sweetness and green, earthy richness. You feel him move closer, his presence a warm shape at your shoulder. You tilt your head to the side, granting him access, and shift your weight slightly, lifting your shoulders and upper back just above the water's surface. The air, which had felt so warm, now feels cool against your wet skin for a brief moment before the first touch comes. His hands, slick and heavy with the warm oil, make contact with your shoulders. It is a firm, knowing pressure. The sound of the massage begins. Another layer in the symphony of the bathhouse. It is a slow, rhythmic, frictional sound, a soft, wet, face-shushing Fay as his oiled palms glide over your skin, smoothing the fragrant liquid over your shoulders, down your arms, and across the top of your back. The sound is constant and hypnotic, a steady rhythm that works in concert with the dripping water and your own slow breathing. His thumbs find the tight, weary muscles at the base of your neck, the place where the weight of decisions and the burdens of status tend to gather. He presses in, not with painful force, but with a deep, sustained pressure that feels like it is unlocking something deep within you. You exhale slowly as he works, a long, quiet sigh of release. He moves with a practiced, methodical grace, his hands gliding in long, sweeping strokes from your neck down to your shoulder blades, and then back up again. The friction creates a wonderful, pervasive warmth that feels as though it is melting you from the outside in. You can feel the individual fibers of your muscles beginning to soften, to let go of the tension they have been holding all day, all week. The slow, repetitive motion is deeply hypnotic. The soft, sliding sound of his hands, the deep pressure, the spreading warmth, the intoxicating scent. It all combines to pull you further down, away from thought, away from consciousness, into a state of pure sensory existence. Your eyelids, already heavy, feel as if they have tiny lead weights attached to them. Your mind, which a short while ago was still turning over the day's events, is now blessedly, wonderfully empty. It has been filled and then emptied by the echo of the falling water, and now it is being smoothed over, polished into a perfect thought, free surface by the rhythmic motion of his hands. His fingers work their way along your spine, pressing into the small spaces between the vertebrae, releasing pockets of stiffness you were not even aware you possessed. Your limbs, still submerged in the warm water, feel impossibly heavy, wonderfully inert. You are anchored in this moment, in this pool, by a feeling of profound physical and mental peacetime, as measured by the sun or the clepsydra, has ceased to exist. There is only the time measured by the drip from the ceiling, the time measured by the slow glide of hands on skin, the time measured by the deep, even rhythm of your own breathing. Lycomedes's hands move from your back to your arms, his grip firm as he works the oil into your biceps and forearms, his thumbs pressing into the soft flesh of your palms. It is a complete and total release, a systematic dismantling of every last remnant of physical stress. The world outside, the world of politics and commerce, of duty and expectation, feels a million miles away. This is the only reality: the warmth, the water, the scent of roses, and the slow, hypnotic rhythm of the massage. This imperial luxury is not about opulence for its own sake. It is about the purchase of perfect, unassailable peace. It is the ultimate power. As his hands continue their slow, tireless work, you drift even further. The distinction between the warmth of the water on your lower body and the warmth of the oil on your upper body begins to blur. It is all one sensation now. A single, all-encompassing feeling of deep, penetrating heat. The echo of the dripping water seems to come from further and further away, a gentle reminder of the vast, empty space that surrounds and protects you. Your breathing is deep and slow, the breath of true sleep. Your body is completely pliant, completely at rest, a vessel of pure sensation. The night is deep, the city is silent. And here, in the heart of your private sanctuary, you are sinking slowly and blissfully. The night is endless, and you have all the time in the world to simply be, to float in the warm darkness, held and soothed, as the last vestiges of the waking world dissolve like salt in the water around you. And so you remain suspended in this perfect moment, floating in the gentle, healing warmth of the Tepidarium. The world outside, the sprawling, magnificent and chaotic heart of an empire, has finally surrendered to the night. The clamour of the forums, the rumble of cartwheels on stone, the endless chorus of a million lives, all of it has faded into a profound and distant silence, a silence that belongs only to you. Here, within the hallowed marble walls of your private sanctuary, the only empire that matters is the one you command within your own senses, the quiet kingdom of your own peaceful mind. You are the sole inhabitant of this grand vaulted space, a silent emperor of tranquility in a palace built for water and steam. Your body, released from the day's duties and the weight of your own thoughts, feels impossibly light, buoyed by the silken water that holds you in its tender liquid embrace. Your breathing has slowed, deepening into a soft and steady rhythm, a quiet tide that rises and falls in perfect harmony with the stillness around you. With every slow exhale, you feel your shoulders sinking lower into the water, releasing a tension you were not even aware you were holding. It flows out of you, dissolving into the warmth, carried away and forgotten. Your eyelids are heavy, so very heavy, like curtains of soft velvet, slowly drawing closed upon the day. Through your lashes, the world softens into a beautiful hazy blur. The few oil lamps, placed in high recessed niches along the far walls, burn with a their light is not bright or harsh, but a deep and gentle amber, the colour of honey and old wine. This light spills down the colossal marble columns, catching in the subtle veins of grey and rose within the stone, making them seem to pulse with a slow, ancient life. The light does not fully penetrate the vast darkness of the dome high above you, leaving it as a great umbrous sky of man, made stone, a private firmament where shadows gather and sleep. The air itself is thick with peace, a warm and humid blanket woven from steam and silence. It carries the clean mineral scent of the spring water, the faint earthy smell of heated stone from the hypercore system deep below, and the almost imperceptible trace of wood smoke from the distant furnaces, a comforting reminder of the unseen fires that keep this haven so wonderfully warm. You shift slightly in the water, a slow and languid movement, and the water responds with a soft syrupy swirl around your limbs. It is not cold, nor is it hot. It is the precise temperature of perfect comfort, the temperature of blood and life, a gentle heat that coaxes every muscle fibre to let go, to soften, to yield completely. You can feel the warmth seeping into your very bones, a deep and profoundly soothing heat that travels up your spine and spreads through your chest, calming your heart until it beats with a slow, contented and powerful rhythm. And as you float in this perfect equilibrium, a new sound, almost too subtle to notice at first, joins the quiet symphony of the bathhouse. It is the soft measured padding of leather sandals on the marble floor. The sound is muffled by the humid air, each footfall a gentle, respectful whisper against the stone, barely disturbing the sacred silence. You do not need to open your eyes, for you know who it is. One of your most trusted servants, moving with the quiet grace of a shadow, has entered the great hall. He approaches the edge of the pool, his presence a comforting reassurance, not an intrusion. You feel more than see his respectful bow, a silent acknowledgement of your peace. He carries a small, heavy bottle made of thick, blue-green glass, and as he kneels by the poolside, the lamplight catches it, revealing the viscous, golden liquid held within. He removes the small wooden stopper, and the sound is a soft, satisfying fay-pop-fay, a tiny punctuation mark in the long, flowing sentence of the night. And then a new scent begins to bloom in the air, unfurling like the petals of a flower in the warm steam. It is the deep, intoxicating perfume of roses, not the light, fleeting scent of a summer garden, but the rich, concentrated essence of 1,000 petals, pressed and mingled with the finest, purest olive oil. The fragrance is heavy, luxurious, and deeply calming. It winds its way through the steam, a silken thread of perfume that finds you, envelops you, and invites you to breathe even more deeply, to sink even further into your state of perfect repose. The servant tips the glass bottle, and the oil begins its slow descent. It does not splash or pour, it flows, a thick, unctuous ribbon of gold, so dense it seems to move in slow motion, glugging from the bottle's neck with a low, liquid, and deeply satisfying sound. Fey glug. Glug asterisk. You hear the moment the thick oil meets the back of the servant's hand, a soft, wet fate-pat fey, and then you feel the first touch. His hands, warmed and slicked with the fragrant oil, are placed gently upon your shoulders, which have risen just above the water's surface. The oil is warmer than the water, a surprising and delightful sensation, a concentrated touch of heat that immediately begins to loosen the muscles at the base of your neck. His touch is confident and slow, his fingers strong but gentle. He begins to work the oil into your skin, his hands moving in a slow, hypnotic rhythm. The sound is another layer in the night's music, a soft, frictional fascine fee of skin gliding over skin, a muffled, rhythmic sound of pure, tactile comfort. It is the sound of tension being smoothed away, of knots being gently persuaded to release their grip. He works with an unhurried, practiced grace, his palms pressing and gliding over your shoulders, down your upper back, and along the tops of your arms. The friction is perfect, a gentle drag that stimulates the skin without being rough, the oil providing a silken barrier that makes his hands feel as if they are made of warm, polished marble themselves. You can feel the tightness in your shoulders, the lingering weight of the toga, of posture, of responsibility, simply melting under his palms. The muscles soften, lengthen, and surrender completely. The scent of rose and olive oil intensifies, clinging to your skin, becoming a part of you, a personal aura of deep and decadent peace. Your mind, which had been blissfully empty, empties even further, focusing only on this singular, glorious sensation of touch, of the rhythmic pressure, of the slow, circular motions that seem to be drawing all remaining stress out from your body and casting it away. With every pass of his hands, your breathing slows a little more. The rise and fall of your chest becomes almost imperceptible. Your limbs, already weightless in the water, now feel a different kind of heaviness, the profound leaden weight of absolute relaxation. The servant's movements are like a slow, silent dance, a ritual of tranquility performed just for you. He moves from your shoulders to your neck, his thumbs pressing gently into the hollows at the base of your skull, a point of tension you carry from reading scrolls and listening to petitioners. And as he presses, a wave of release washes down your entire spine, a soft internal sigh of relief that you feel all the way to the tips of your toes. The world narrows to this one point of contact, this perfect rhythmic application of pressure and warmth, and the fragrant air you breathe. Time itself seems to have pooled around you, becoming as thick and slow, moving as the golden oil now nourishing your skin. There is no past, no future, only this eternal suspended now, a luxurious stillness at the heart of a sleeping empire. The servant's hands slow their rhythm, the long gliding strokes becoming even longer, even slower. He is bringing the ritual to its gentle conclusion. The pressure lessens, the movements becoming as light as a feather, a final soft caress to smooth the oil and quiet the skin. His hands linger for a moment on your shoulders, a silent gesture of completion, and then they are gone. You hear the soft, wet sound of him wiping the excess oil from his hands onto a linen cloth, followed by the gentle click of the wooden stopper being replaced in the glass bottle. The quiet, muffled sounds of his departure are the reverse of his arrival. The soft padding of his sandals recedes, growing fainter and fainter until the sound is completely swallowed by the vast echoing space and the gentle hiss of the steam. And then, once again, you are completely and utterly alone. As back in to fill the space his presence occupied, the water has become an extension of your own body. The air has become an extension of your own breath. The only thing that moves is the thought, slow and meandering, that this must be what the gods feel like, floating in some ethereal realm beyond the cares of mortal men. Your skin tingles, warm and alive from the massage, coated in a fine, fragrant sheen of oil that protects it from the cooling air. The scent of roses is no longer just in the air. It is your scent, a personal cloud of tranquility that rises with the steam from your own body. And in this profound new depth of quiet, you begin to notice a sound you had heard before. But now it takes on a new significance, a new clarity. It is the sound of a single drop of water. High above it gathers, invisibly, until a single droplet becomes too heavy for its surface tension to bear. You can almost imagine it. A perfect, trembling sphere of water, clinging for a final moment to the ancient stone, reflecting the distant, flickering lamplight in its tiny, curved surface. And then it lets go. It falls. The fall is long and silent, a journey of a single drop, and then it strikes the surface of the pool. It is not a splash. It is a single, pure, perfect note. A clear, crystalline, fapling. Asterisk, the sound is tiny, yet in the cathedral, like acoustics of the empty bathhouse, it is immense. It circles the vast, dark space, a ghost of a sound, a pure tone that seems to hang in the air for an impossibly long time, humming with a celestial harmony. It fades so slowly, so gradually, that you cannot pinpoint the exact moment it disappears. It simply melts back into the foundational silence from which it came. You lie perfectly still, waiting. Your entire consciousness is now focused on the ceiling, listening not with your ears, but with your... It is a silence full of anticipation, but a calm anticipation, a peaceful waiting. And then it happens again. It is the sound of time itself being measured, not in the frantic ticking of a clock, but in the slow, patient, and inevitable gathering of water. Each drop is a moment, and you exhale slowly, slowly, as the echo rolls through the darkness above and fades away to nothing. Asterisk exhale. Echo fade. This is the only rhythm now. It is a sound you feel in your bones, a vibration that is the very heartbeat of the building, the slow, sleeping breath of the giant that cradles you in its warm stone belly. The occasional soft fay of water against the mosaic, tiled edge of the pool, caused by the gentle movement of your own breathing, is a quiet percussion. But the drip, your eyelids are sealed shut now, not with effort, but with the simple, heavy truth of exhaustion and peace. Behind them, there is only a soft, velvety darkness, punctuated by the faintest memory of the amber lamplight. Your mind, once a bustling forum crowded with faces, voices, and obligations, is now as quiet and empty as this great hall. Thoughts may arise, but they are like wisps of steam, forming for a moment before dissolving into the warm, humid air, leaving no trace behind. You adrift not just in the water. The sensory details continue to wash over you, no longer as distinct events, but as a continuous, flowing river of sensation. The feeling of the water, a perfect, seamless support, holding you so you don't have to hold yourself. The scent of roses and warm stone, a perfume you breathe in and out, a scent that now feels like the very essence of relaxation itself. The deep, resonant hum from below, a comforting anchor to the physical world. and above it all, the steady, patient, and hypnotic rhythm of the dripping water and its long singing echo fapling, asterisk, and the silver bloom of sound that follows. Your limbs feel heavy, so wonderfully heavy, as if they are carved from the same marble as the hall itself, solid, still, and eternal. You feel the last vestiges of the day's journey, the ache in your feet from walking on hard paved roads, the tension in your jaw from speaking and negotiating. All of it has been washed away, massaged away, and echoed away into the vast, quiet night. You are no longer a patrician, a magistrate, a citizen of Rome. You are simply a body, held in warmth, a mind, held in silence, a soul, held in peace. The grandeur of the empire, its marble and its gold, its legions and its laws, all of it pales in comparison to the immense, immeasurable luxury of this single, simple moment of absolute, uninterrupted stillness. Time has not just slowed down, it feels as if it has stopped altogether, caught and held within the space between one drop and the next. You are floating in an eternal present, a night that will never end, a peace that will never be disturbed. And in this perfect stillness, you let go, allowing the gentle current of slumber to finally pull you under into a sleep as deep and as quiet as the water that holds you. The water continues its gentle work, its warmth a constant soothing presence against your skin, which is itself a silken, fragrant barrier of oil and peace. You feel the water not just around you, but within you, as if the boundaries between your body and the pool have begun to dissolve, leaving you as one with this tranquil liquid world. The scent of roses is no longer something you smell, but something you are, a fragrance that has steeped into your very being. Your thoughts are no longer thoughts, but slow, formless drifts of colour and feeling, like the watercolours of a dream. The amber light of the lamps seems to seep through your closed eyelids, painting the darkness behind them with soft, warm hues. The world has been reduced to its most essential, most comforting elements: warmth, water, scent, and the most gentle of sounds. The drip continues its patient vigil, fadelink, asterisk, the echo unfurls, a long, sighing ribbon of sound that wraps around the darkness, a lullaby sung by the building itself. It is a sound that asks for nothing, a sound that simply is, and you simply are. Your breathing is now so shallow, so slow, it is almost undetectable, the quietest of tides in an ocean of calm. Your heart beats with a slow, powerful, and steady rhythm, a deep and distant drum. There is nothing left to do. The great city sleeps around you, and you are the very heart of its slumber, the quiet centre of its peace. The night is yours, the silence is yours, and the deep restorative sleep that is now claiming you is your final, most precious luxury. Let the water hold you. Let the echoes sing to you. Let the warmth cradle you as you drift further and further away into the deep, dark, and peaceful heart of the Roman night. There is only safety here, only warmth, only the endless, gentle peace of this moment. Think about a morning that is a lifetime away. You have passed through its oppressive curtain of steam, its air thick with the humid breath of the furnace, and have now found your way into the gentle embrace of the Tepidarium. Here, the world softens. The temperature drops from a sweltering challenge to a profound, bone-deep comfort. You are submerged to your shoulders in the warm pool, the water a perfect, silken weight against your skin. The city of Rome, that great and tireless beast of 1,000,000 souls, is quiet. Now, its markets are shuttered, its forums are empty, its legions of voices have fallen into a collective, dreaming hush. But here, in this monument of marble and mosaic, that you have claimed for your own this night. A different kind of life persists. It is the life of water, of heat, of stone, and of silence. You lean your head back against the smooth, curved lip of the pool, the cool marble a pleasing contrast to the warmth of the water. Your ears dip just below the surface, and the world's few remaining sounds are suddenly transformed. They become muffled, distant submarine. The gentle lapping of the water against the sides of the pool becomes a slow, deep, internal pulse, a heartbeat for the immense, sleeping building. Above you, the vast coffered dome of the chamber vanishes into shadow, its highest reaches lost in the gloom where the flickering light of the oil lamps cannot climb. The space feels infinite, a private cosmos of steam and tranquility. A thin veil of mist hangs over the water's surface, swirling in lazy, intricate patterns with every slow movement you make, with every quiet breath you take. It is a world distilled to its most fundamental elements: warmth, water, and the gentle, cradling dark your body, which carried the tensions of the day, the weight of political maneuvering, the endless pleasantries of social obligation, the simple fatigue of being a citizen in the greatest city in the world. Begins each muscle. Your shoulders, which you did not even realize were held so high, now drop, releasing a burden you had forgotten you were carrying. The water accepts this weight without comment, its gentle buoyancy a silent promise of support. You are held. A sound, so soft, it is almost imperceptible, reaches you from the edge of the great chamber. It is the whisper of a leather sandal on smooth, heated marble. You do not need to turn. The attendant, a quiet young man from Gaul, with an unnerving ability to move like a shadow, approaches the edge of the pool. He walks with a practiced deference, his presence announced only by that faint, rhythmic scuff of leather on stone, a sound that is absorbed almost immediately by the immense, echoing quiet of the hall. He kneels on the wide marble surround, the movement fluid and silent. You hear the faint clink of a glass bottle being set down on the floor, a sound as delicate as ice cracking on a winter morning. There is a moment of pure stillness, a pause in which the only sound is the vast architectural silence of the baths themselves. And then another sound begins. It is the slow, viscous pour of oil from the bottle, not the thin, eager rush of water, but a thick, languid, golden stream of finest olive oil drawn from the sun-drenched groves of Hispania. It is a low, unctuous, gurgling sound, a fey-glug. Glug, glug. Into his cupped palm he pours the oil, and the scent, even from where you are, begins to bloom in the steamy air. It is infused with the petals of 1,000 Damascene roses, their opulent perfume woven into the very fabric of the oil, a scent of gardens and luxury, of distant lands and extravagant expense. It is the smell of power softened into perfume. It is the scent of an empire so wealthy it can afford to bathe in flowers. The attendant dips his hands into the warm water of the pool, warming his palms so the first touch is not a shock. Then he brings his oiled hands to your shoulders. There is no sudden cold, no jarring sensation. There is only a seamless transition from the warmth of the water to the warm, firm pressure of his touch. His hands begin to move. It is not a hurried or clinical motion. It is a slow, deliberate, and deeply knowledgeable kneading, a language spoken by hands that understand the intricate geography of muscle and bone. The sound is a soft, rhythmic friction, a fish of oiled skin gliding over oiled skin. It is a sound of release, a sound of tension being smoothed away into nothingness. He works first on your shoulders and the back of your neck, where the day's anxieties tend to gather like stones in a riverbed. His thumbs press into the tight knots of muscle, a pressure that is at once intense and immensely satisfying. You can feel the tension begin to dissolve under his expert care. The tightly coiled springs of your muscles slowly uncoiling. The friction of his palms generates a gentle spreading warmth that penetrates deep beneath the surface. A heat that feels as if it is melting the very marrow in your bone. With each long, sweeping stroke, a layer of fatigue is peeled away, smoothed out, and discarded. The rose-scented oil, slick and heavy, allows his hands to move with a fluid, hypnotic grace, and the air around you becomes a thick cloud of warmth, steam, and the decadent aroma of far-off gardens. You let your head fall forward, giving him better access, a silent gesture of complete and total trust. Your breathing, already slow, deepens further, finding a rhythm that matches the long, unhurried strokes of his hands across your back. With every exhale, you feel yourself sinking deeper, not just into the water, but into a state of profound and untouchable calm. His hands move from your neck down the length of your spine. He follows the elegant, curving path of your vertebrae, his fingers pressing into the muscles on either side. It is a slow, methodical journey downwards, mapping the landscape of your back with an almost reverent attention. You can feel the small, tight knots of stress you weren't even aware of, collected in the small of your back from hours spent sitting, or standing, or simply existing within the rigid formality of your public life. Under the relentless, rhythmic pressure of his thumbs, these knots begin to soften, to yield, to dissolve like salt in water. The sound of the massage continues, a soft, wet, frictional whisper that is both intimate and deeply impersonal. You picture the mosaic tiles beneath the water, the ones your feet had brushed against earlier, a scene of Neptune and his court, crafted from 1,000,000 tiny squares of coloured stone. Here you are, a fleeting mortal, the sheer, glorious and unsustainable extravagance of it all, an entire wing of this colossal structure, heated by a raging furnace, tended by a dozen slaves in the depths below, staffed by silent attendants, all for the solitary comfort of one person. It is a level of luxury, so profound it borders on the absurd. And yet, in this moment, it feels not absurd, but necessary. It feels like the only sane response to the chaos of the world outside, a perfect, ordered, and silent retreat from the noise and the dust and the endless striving. And it is a relief, so profound, it feels like a physical weight being lifted from your soul. The attendant's hands move to your arms, one at a time. He lifts your arm from the water, and for a moment it feels impossibly heavy, a dead weight of bone and flesh. The water streams from it in warm rivulets, tracing paths through the glistening oil. His hands encircle your bicep, his grip firm and secure, and he begins to work his way down towards your wrist, long squeezing motions, as if he is wringing the very last vestiges of tension from your muscles. The sound of the friction changes slightly, becoming a slicker, faster whisper as he moves over the less knotted muscles of your forearms. He massages your hands, your palms, each finger individually, pressing into the joints, releasing the tightness that comes from writing letters, from holding reins, from gesturing in the Senate. When he is finished, he gently lowers your arm back into the water, and it feels light, now almost weightless, floating with an effortless buoyancy. He repeats the entire process on the other arm, his movements identical, practiced, perfect. The symmetry of the act is itself a kind of soothing balm. While he works, your mind, now untethered from any specific thought or worry, begins to wander, to drift on the currents of the warm air. You think of the hypercore system beneath your feet, the ingenious network of tunnels and pillars that forms the lungs of this great building. You picture the slaves far below, their faces slick with sweat in the hellish glow of the furnace, feeding logs of oak and pine into the fire's insatiable maw. Their world is one of fire, of soot, of choking smoke and blistering heat. A world of pure, brutal labor. And all of that effort, all of that raw, fiery energy is channeled, controlled and refined, sent upwards through clay pipes and hollow floors, until it becomes this, a gentle, uniform and almost spiritual warmth that radiates from the marble. A warmth that asks nothing of you but to feel it. The contrast is staggering. The brute force of the furnace transformed into the delicate comfort of the Tepidarium. And tonight, you are at that peak, floating in a perfect, warm silence that has been purchased by the sweat and toil of 1,000 unseen hands. The attendant moves to your legs, and the ritual continues. He nieces them from the calf down to the ankle, his strokes long and firm, chasing away the fatigue of walking on hard, stone-paved streets. The muscles of your calves, tight and bunched, slowly relax under his persistent pressure. He anoints your feet, rubbing the scented oil into the arches, the heels, the spaces between your toes. It is a final act of release, grounding you and yet making you feel lighter than air. When he is finished, he rises. The movement is as silent as his arrival. You hear the soft sound of his hands being wiped on a linen cloth, and then the faint, retreating whisper of his sandals on the marble floor, a sound that grows softer and softer until it is swallowed completely by the vast echoing space. And then there is nothing. He is gone. You are alone again, truly alone. The air is still thick with the scent of roses and olive oil, a fragrant shroud that clings to your skin and hangs in the steam around you. Your body is a vessel of pure sensation. A deep, heavy, and profound relaxation has settled into every fibre of your being. Your limbs feel wonderfully weighted, anchored to the bottom of the pool by comfort alone. Your skin tingles with a gentle warmth, a combination of the hot water, the friction of the massage, and the insulating layer of oil. You are floating in a state of perfect equilibrium, a state where thought requires too much effort, and all that matters is the simple, profound act of being. The descending arc of the evening has reached its lowest, slowest point. The phase of action is over. Now, there is only stillness. You tilt your head back again, letting your ears slip beneath the surface of the water. The world goes quiet, muted, deep. The only sound is the slow, steady, rhythmic thud of your own heart, a deep and resonant drumbeat in the cathedral of your chest. It is slower now than it has been all day. Thump, 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 thump. Asterisk. It is a calm and steady rhythm, the rhythm of deep rest, of a body at peace. Each beat is a reassurance. Each beat is a quiet confirmation that you are here. You are safe. You are at rest. You lift your head slowly, and the sounds of the room return. But they seem different now. High above, in the cold, dark air of the dome, the steam from the pool has been gathering. It has condensed on the cool marble surfaces, forming tiny, perfect beads of water. And every so often, when one of these droplets becomes too heavy for the surface tension that holds it, it lets go. It falls. It is a journey of 100 feet, a silent, solitary descent through the darkness and the steam. Plink. It is as clear and as pure as a single note struck on a silver bell. But it is the echo that follows, which is the true marvel. The sound of that single drop does not simply vanish. It radiates outwards, a perfect circle of sound that travels across the water. The echo rolls around the vast curved space of the dome, a long drawn-out, ethereal resonance that seems to hang in the air for an eternity. before finally slowly fading back into the silence from which it came. Fate link. Asterisk. You close your eyes and you just listen, waiting for the next one. The silence stretches, becoming a tangible presence, a soft, heavy blanket. Your entire world contracts to this single point of auditory focus. You are waiting for a drop of water to fall from a ceiling you cannot see. The seconds stretch into a minute, perhaps more. Time has lost its meaning here. There is only the warm water, the scented air. Your eyelids are heavy, sealed shut, not by force. Asterisk, there it is again. A different spot in the pool this time. A slightly different note. A fraction higher, perhaps. And again, the long cascading echo follows. A ghostly whisper that caresses the curved walls of the chamber. Fate link. Asterisk. You begin to notice the space between the sounds. The silence itself has a texture, a depth. It is not an absence of sound, but a presence. It is the sound of stone and water and warm air at rest. It is the sound of an empire holding its breath. In this deep, resonant quiet, you can almost feel the immense weight of the city sleeping around you, the millions of lives, each with their own dreams and worries. They become like the steam rising from the water, forming for a moment, taking on a vague and indistinct shape, and then simply evaporating into the warm, dark air. There is no past to reconsider, no future to plan. There is only this moment, this perfect, unending present. The scent of rose oil, the warmth of the water on your skin, the heavy, comfortable weight of your own limbs, and the celestial, echoing sound of a single drop of water falling in the dark. Your body is so relaxed, it feels as if it is merging with the water, its edges blurring, becoming one with the warm, liquid embrace of the pool. Your mind, free from the burden of thought, is simply an open space, as vast and as quiet as the dome above you, waiting for the next echo to roll through it, fatling. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Asterisk, the sound seems to come from inside you now. The echo resonates not in the chamber, but in the quiet, empty spaces of your own mind. It is a mantra of tranquility, a sound that washes everything clean. Your awareness begins to fade, not into blackness, but into a soft, grey, comfortable fog. The distinction between waking and sleeping becomes meaningless. You are simply drifting in a warm, safe, and silent space. The last vestiges of the world outside, the politics, the ambitions, the noise, have been washed away, anointed with oil, and steamed into oblivion. All that is left is the deep, slow rhythm of your own breathing, and the patient, endless silence, punctuated by the sound of a single drop of water, marking the passage of a time that has, for you, already stopped. The water holds you. The warmth cocoons you. The silence there is only the slow, gentle, and inevitable descent into the deep and dreamless sleep that awaits. The great marble bathhouse stands guard around you, a silent stone sentinel in the heart of the Roman night, keeping the world at bay while you drift away. And as you sink into that final profound stillness, you carry the echo with you, a perfect, lonely, and beautiful sound to accompany you into the quiet dark. May your rest be as deep and as undisturbed as the ancient stones that surround you now. And so you remain suspended in the warm, silken waters of the Tepidarium, a solitary figure in the heart of a sleeping empire. The vast, vaulted hall of the bathhouse is yours alone tonight, a private sanctuary carved from marble and silence. The city of Rome, a sprawling beast of a million souls, has finally quieted its breathing, its endless clamour and commerce fading into the deep velvet folds of the night. Here, inside these thick walls, the only sounds are those of water and warmth. The only light the soft, forgiving glow of oil lamps. The air is heavy with steam, a gentle mist that blurs the edges of the world, softening the sharp lines of the Corinthian columns and the distant, coffered ceiling. It carries with it the clean, mineral scent of the water and the deep, earthy smell of heated stone, a fragrance of pure, elemental comfort. You lean your head back against the smooth, curved marble of the pool's edge, your hair floating like dark seaweed in the water behind you, and you allow a long, slow breath to leave your body, your sigh mingling with the rising vapor. The warmth is absolute. It is not the aggressive, sweating heat of the caldarium you just left, but a profound, bone-deep comfort that seems to radiate from the very foundations of the building. You can feel it through the soles of your feet, a gentle, persistent heat rising from the marble floor beneath the pool, a testament to the unseen and tireless work of the hypercaust system. Down in the belly of the earth, slaves are feeding wood into furnaces, their labor transformed into this perfect, unwavering climate of peace. The heat travels through the hollow spaces beneath the floor and up through the walls, turning this entire chamber into a single massive vessel of warmth. You are held within it, floating in its liquid heart, and every muscle in your body seems to recognize this profound safety. Letting go of tensions you were not even aware you were holding. Your shoulders, which were drawn up towards your ears from the memory of the day's duties and discussions, have begun to drop, to soften, to release their grip. The water moves around you, a gentle liquid caress. The soft padding footfalls of your servant, his bare feet making almost no noise on the wet marble. He moves with a practiced economy of motion, a silent shadow in the periphery of your vision. His presence respectful and unobtrusive. He carries a small iridescent glass bottle, its sides catching the lamplight and shimmering with hues of blue and green. He kneels at the edge of the pool, his movements slow and deliberate, designed not to disturb the profound quiet of the space. You hear the faint, delicate scrape of the stopper being worked free from the neck of the bottle, a small, intimate sound in the grand, echoing hall. And then he tips the vessel. The sound is a low, viscous gurgle, a rich and unctuous sound that speaks of groves warmed by an Italian sun and the patient work of the press. It is not a thin, quick liquid. It is heavy, dense, and slow, pooling in his hand like molten gold. As it flows, it releases a new layer of scent into the steam-filled air, a fragrance that weaves itself around the mineral notes of the water. It is the deep, green, almost peppery scent of pure olive oil. But it is laced with something more, something impossibly soft and decadent. The essence of roses, not the sharp, bright scent of a freshly plucked flower, but the deep, heady perfume of 1,000 petals crushed and distilled into a single precious drop. The fragrance is intoxicating, a scent of luxury, of gardens, and of slow, sun-drenched afternoon. It fills your senses, a perfume of pure tranquility, and you feel your mind letting go of its last few lingering thoughts, surrendering completely to the sensory world around you. The servant dips his oiled hands into the warm water of the pool, warming the fragrant liquid further before it touches your skin. And the contact is firm. There is no shock of cold, only the seamless continuation of warmth, now slick and fragrant. He begins to work, his thumbs pressing into the tight knots of muscle at the base of your neck. The pressure is deep and knowing, finding the precise points of tension and holding them. His hands move in slow, deliberate circles, a rhythmic, hypnotic motion that seems to be in perfect time with the slow pulse of the hall. The only sound is a soft, frictional whisper, the sound of his oiled hands gliding over your skin, a shushing sound that is immensely soothing. It is the sound of care, of release, of your body being gently and methodically persuaded to let go. He works his way across the tops of your shoulders, his palms pressing down, smoothing out the landscape of your muscles. You can feel the tension dissolving like salt in water, a subtle, wonderful unraveling that spreads downwards through your back and outwards along your arms. With each long, sweeping stroke, you feel heavier, more deeply settled in the water. Your head lolls to one side, completely supported by the pool's marble edge, and your eyes drift half-closed. The world becomes a soft, focused dream. The oil lamps across the vast chamber are no longer distinct points of light, but soft, hazy orbs of amber, their glow diffused by the steam, and their light catches the thin, iridescent film of oil now spreading across the water's surface around you, creating shifting, shimmering rainbows that swirl and dance with every slight movement. The intricate mosaics on the floor of the pool, depicting a triumphant Neptune surrounded by nereids and hippocamps, lose their sharp detail. The tiny, colourful tiles of glass and stone blur into a beautiful, abstract watercolour, their vibrant blues and greens and golds softened and muted by the water, and the gathering twilight in your mind. From high above, in the centre of the great coffered dome, a single drop of condensed steam has been gathering. It swells, growing heavier, clinging for a moment to the painted plaster before its own weight becomes too much. It lets go. It falls. For a long second, it is a silent silver tear dropping through the immense, quiet space. And then it strikes the surface of the pool. The sound is not a mere splash. In this vast, empty, acoustically perfect chamber, it is a pure, crystalline note, a single, resonant fay-drip-fay. The sound is as clear as a tiny bell, and it is followed by a long, ghostly echo that rolls around the curve of the dome, a wave of sound that seems to wash over the entire hall before slowly fading back into the gentle, lapping silence. It is the heartbeat of the bathhouse, the rhythm of your own deep and growing stillness. You find yourself listening for the next one, the space between the drips stretching out, becoming a vessel for your own quiet contemplation. The servant's hands continue their slow, tireless work. He moves from your shoulders down your back, his long, firm strokes following the line of your spine. The motion is like a slow tide, ebbing and flowing, washing away the last vestiges of physical strain. The friction of his palms on your oiled skin creates a deep, penetrating warmth that sinks far below the surface into the very core of your muscles. You feel the muscles in your lower back, muscles that have been tight from sitting, from standing, from simply moving through the world, finally begin to soften and lengthen. It is a feeling of profound relief, a sensation of being completely and utterly cared for. There is nothing for you to do but receive this gift of touch, to float in this warm, fragrant water, and to breathe. Your breathing has already found its own slow, deep rhythm, a natural cadence that requires no thought, no effort. In, and the scent of rose and steam fills your lungs. Out, and a wave of deep, heavy relaxation rolls through you. He moves to your arms, lifting one from the water. The air feels cool for a moment against your wet skin, but then his warm, oiled hands enclose your bicep, and the sensation is one of pure comfort. He works his way down your forearm to your wrist, and then to your hand. He takes your hand in his thumbs pressing into the center of your palm, a point of connection that seems to send a current of relaxation all the way up your arm and into your shoulder. He massages each finger, one by one, from the base to the tip, gently pulling, stretching, and releasing the tiny, often forgotten muscles. It feels as if he is methodically erasing every gesture, every act of writing, every grip of the hand that the day required of you, leaving your hand feeling wonderfully limp and heavy. He gently places your arm back into the water, and it sinks slowly, feeling twice as heavy as before. An anchor of profound... He repeats the entire... The echo follows, a long, sonorous whisper that circles the high ceiling before dissolving. You listen to it fade completely, the silence that follows feeling deeper, richer than before. The servant's work is almost done. His movements have become even slower, even more gentle. His hands now make one last, long sweeping pass from your neck, all the way down to the small of your back, a final smoothing gesture that seems to seal in the relaxation, to put a final, gentle touch on his work. His hands leave your skin, and the absence of their touch is as significant as its presence. You feel the warm water rush back in to embrace the skin that was being massaged. A final, soothing caress. You hear the soft padding sound of his feet as he retreats, the sound growing fainter and fainter until it is gone completely, absorbed by the immense quiet space. The small iridescent bottle is gone. The gentle whispering sound of the massage is gone. You are alone again, truly alone, suspended in perfect warmth, in perfect silence, broken only by the ancient, elemental sounds of water. The air is thick with a lingering perfume of roses, a ghostly presence that comforts you. Your body is slick with a thin, nourishing film of oil, and the water feels impossibly soft against your skin. You feel buoyant, almost weightless, as if the water is holding you, cradling you. Your limbs are heavy, not with fatigue, but with a deep, profound sense of rest. A pleasant, leaden feeling that makes the thought of movement seem like a distant, unnecessary memory. There is no need to move. There is nothing to do. There is nowhere to be. There is only the time, which usually marches forward with such relentless purpose, seems to have pooled in this chamber, becoming as still and as deep as the water you are floating in. Your eyes are closed now. The world outside your eyelids has vanished, replaced by a soft, dark field of reddish black, the faint glow of the oil lamps pressing gently against them from the outside. Your focus turns inward and downward into the microscopic sensory details of your stillness. You can feel the slow, steady, powerful beat of your own heart, a deep and reassuring drum within your chest. You can feel the gentle pressure of the water against your eardrums, a constant, soft embrace that muffles the world. The primary sound is the water lapping against the sides of the pool, a quiet, inconsistent rhythm created by the slow, deep currents of your own breathing. A soft phase-losh fay, a pause, and then a gentle fay-lap. Lap-fay as the small wave returns. It is the sound of a calm shore It is the sound of absolute peace. And you wait. You can almost feel it happening high above you in the darkness. The steam, cooling against the plaster, coalesces. A tiny bead of water is born. It grows, catching a faint, unseen glimmer of light. It swells, pregnant with silence. It reaches its tipping, and then, fay drip fay, and the echo that follows is its soul, a long fading sigh that fills the entire cathedral of stone around you. The sound washes over you, and you feel another layer of tension you didn't even know existed simply dissolve. It is a cleansing sound, a sound that scrubs the mind clean of clutter. Your body feels heavy, so wonderfully, deeply heavy. Your legs are like marble, your arms like anchors of warm stone. Your head, resting against the lip of the pool, feels as though it has merged with the marble, becoming part of the structure itself. A pleasant warmth continues to radiate from deep within your muscles. The ghost of the massage, a lingering memory of care and release. The rose-scented oil on your skin has mingled with the water, creating a personal atmosphere of fragrance that surrounds you like a soft, invisible blanket. You breathe it in, and the scent seems to travel directly to the part of your brain that understands rest, that craves stillness. With every breath, your body sinks a little deeper, your mind drifts a little further. You are floating in a warm, dark, fragrant void. You are safe. You are held. The boundary between your body and the water is beginning to blur. Are you floating in the water? Or is the water floating through you? But for you. But Tepidarium at night, the soft amber glow of the lamps, the deep foundational heat of the floor, the gentle liquid embrace of the water, the ghostly decadent scent of roses, and the sound, that one, perfect, recurring sound, the gathering of the droplet, the pure crystalline note as it meets the water, and the long, beautiful, fading echo that promises nothing but peace and quiet and deep, deep rest. Your thoughts, which were once a river, have slowed to a crawl, becoming a series of disconnected, gentle images, the swirling colors of the mosaic beneath the water, the shimmering film of oil on the surface, the way the steam catches the light like captured breath. These images drift through your mind without connection, without urgency, like scattered leaves on a still pond. They require no effort. They ask for no attention. Your eyelids feel like heavy velvet curtains, lined with lead, and the effort to open them is monumental and entirely unnecessary. There is nothing more you need to see. Everything you need is right here. In the warmth, in the darkness. The echo seems to last longer this time, its tail, end fading into an even deeper silence. You feel yourself drifting on the edge of sleep, that wonderful, weightless space between worlds. Your breathing is the only anchor, a slow, deep, and even tide that pulls you further and further out into the calm, dark ocean of slumber. The world of Rome, of empire, of duty and of striving, is a distant star, a faint and forgotten glimmer on a horizon you have long since left behind. Here, there is only the warmth of the water. Here, the water laps gently. Sleep now, let the warmth carry you, let the silence hold you. Let the deep imperial peace of this night guide you into a profound and dreamless rest. Sleep, sleep deep. The world outside has long since surrendered to the night, its cacophony of commerce and conquest finally silenced. Here, in the heart of Rome, a city that never truly sleeps, you have found its quiet, beating heart. You have claimed this space as your own, a grand cathedral of steam and marble reserved for you and you alone. The daytime din of shouting merchants, laughing children, and the endless, grinding chatter of a million lives has faded into a distant memory, a story from another world. Tonight, there is only the immense, vaulted silence of the bathhouse, a silence so profound it feels like a physical presence, a heavy velvet cloak laid over the sleeping city. You are submerged to your shoulders in the Tepidarium, the warm pool, its waters heated to a perfect soothing equilibrium. The day's burdens, the tedious audiences, the signing of scrolls, the weight of a name that carries with it the gravity of generations, have all dissolved into the gentle warmth that surrounds you. Your bare feet, when they brush against the floor of the pool, can feel the deep, radiant heat rising from below. The hypercaust, that ingenious subterranean furnace, breathes its slow, fiery life into the very bones of this building, a constant, reassuring warmth that travels through the marble and into your own tired limbs. It is the warmth of empire, the warmth of absolute control, tamed and turned to the simple, decadent purpose of your comfort. A shadow detaches itself from the deeper shadows near a marble column. It is your servant, moving with a practiced silence that leaves the air entirely undisturbed. He carries a small iridescent glass bottle, its surface catching the dim golden light of the oil lamps. He kneels at the edge of the pool, his movements economical and precise. A quiet ritual performed 1,000 times. He unplugs the stopper, and the air, already thick with the clean mineral scent of steam and wet stone, is now graced with a new fragrance. It is rose, but not the cloying sweetness of a summer garden. It is the deep, complex scent of rose oil, an essence pressed from 1,000 petals, rich and heady, with an earthy undertone that speaks of its origins in some distant province of the East. He tips the bottle, and you listen. You listen to the sound of the thick, viscous olive oil being coaxed from its glass prison. It is not a splash or a pour, but a slow, soft glugging sound, a thick whisper that promises relief. He lets it pool in the cup of his palm, warming it with his own body heat before his hands ever touch your skin. The air shimmers for a moment above his cupped hand, the fragrant oil releasing its soul into the steam. And then his hands are on your shoulders. The contact is firm, knowing. His palms, slick with the warm, scented oil. His thumbs find the knots of stress coiled at the base of your neck, the ones that have been tightening for weeks, for months, as you navigated the treacherous currents of the Senate and the endless subtle wars of patrician life. He presses down, not with force, but with a steady, insistent pressure, and you feel the tightly wound cords of muscle begin to surrender. Your head lolls forward, your chin almost touching the water, and you release a breath you didn't realize you were holding. It leaves your lips as a soft sigh, your own small contribution to the rising steam. The servant's hands glide from your shoulders down the broad expanse of your back, his fingers tracing the lines of your spine. Each vertebra is acknowledged, circled, and released from its duty of holding you upright. The sensation is one of being carefully, reverently disassembled. The friction of his palms creates a gentle spreading warmth that sinks deeper than the water, a heat that seems to penetrate the muscle and bone, reaching the very marrow of your fatigue. You close your eyes, and the world narrows to pure sensation. The slow, rhythmic pressure on your back, the gentle lapping kiss of the water against your chest, the rich, enveloping scent of rose and olive, and the sound, that singular, mesmerizing sound that defines this entire space. It swells, hanging for a timeless moment like a liquid jewel. For a long second, it is silent, a tiny silver bead dropping through the immense, warm, empty air. And then it strikes the surface of the pool. The sound is not a splash. It is a single, pure, crystalline note, a resonant fape-link, fey. It travels up to the highest curve of the dome, bounces off the polished marble walls, and spirals through the steam-filled space. The tail of the sound lasting for what feels like an eternity. It is a sound so clean, so solitary, that it seems to wash the mind clean with it. You find your breathing has slowed to match the long fading resonance of that single drop. You wait for the next one, not with anticipation, but with a deep meditative calm. It has become the only clock you need, a clock that does not measure time, but rather the deepening of stillness. The servant's hands move down to your arms, his fingers kneading the tired muscles of your forearms, the ones that have spent the day gripping a stylus or the reins of a chariot. He works his way down to your hands, carefully massaging your palms, uncurling your fingers one by one, as if releasing your grasp on the world itself. Your hands, The worries that cling to you like damp tunics in the winter have been smoothed away, their textures erased by the slow, hypnotic friction. The massage continues, a silent, rhythmic ballet of pressure and release. The servant is a master of his craft, an artist whose medium is fatigue. He understands that this is not about strength, but about rhythm, about lulling the body into a state of such deep relaxation that it forgets how to hold tension. His movements are a slow, steady tide, pulling the exhaustion out of you, drawing it to the surface, and letting it dissolve into the warm water. Your shoulders, which you habitually hold high and tight, have dropped, and they feel wonderfully, blessedly heavy. Your entire torso feels slack and pliant, anchored to the warm floor of the pool only by its own weight. And as his hands work their patient magic, your mind begins to drift. You are no longer a senator, a magistrate, a father, a husband. You are not even a name. You are simply a body, floating in warm water, in a vast, silent stone chamber. The mosaics on the floor of the pool, intricate scenes of Neptune and his Nereids, are blurred and softened by the water and the steam, their sharp edges surrendering to a dreamy, aquatic haze. They are stories made of 1,000,000 tiny stones, and tonight you are floating above them, a silent observer in their mythological world. The light from the bronze lamps, set in niches high on the walls, does not illuminate this space so much as it deepens the shadows. It casts long, distorted shapes that crawl up the massive marble columns and lose themselves in the cavernous dark of the ceiling. The flames within the lamps are small, steady, and alive, tiny golden hearts, beating in the immense stone silence. They are the only other living things here, and their quiet, unwavering presence is deeply comforting. The servant finishes his work. There is no signal, no word exchanged. The rhythm of the massage simply slows and slows and then ceases. His hands rest for a moment on your lower back. A final. You hear the faint, softest whisper of cloth as he dries his hands, the quiet click of the glass stopper being replaced in the bottle. He rises, a shadow once more, and melts back into the deeper darkness from which he came, leaving you in absolute solitude. Now, the silence is even deeper, the space even vaster. You lean your head back, resting it against the smooth, curved marble edge of the pool. The stone is cool against your wet hair, a pleasant contrast to the warmth of the water enveloping your body. Your hair floats around your head like a dark halo. Your limbs, now slick and heavy with oil and water. You feel a pleasant, leaden sensation in your arms and legs, the feeling of muscles that have done their work and have been given permission to rest completely. Your eyelids feel like weighted silk. You let them close. The world is now reduced to sound, scent, and feeling. The boundary between the water and your skin, the gentle 37-degree warmth of the pool, is so close to your own body temperature that you are no longer certain where you end and the water begins. The scent of rose has softened, mingling with the clean, almost sharp smell of wet marble and the faint, earthy hint of the subterranean fires that power this entire magnificent illusion. It is the perfume of pure, decadent peace. Fapling. Asterisk, another drop falls, its echo blooming in the darkness behind your eyes. You follow the sound as it expands and fades, a perfect circle of resonance in the vast hall. You are aware of your own breathing, how it has become impossibly slow and deep. You inhale, and your chest rises, creating a soft, lapping ripple that travels across the still surface of the pool. The ripple reaches the tiled edge and returns, a gentle wave washing back over you. You exhale, and your body sinks a fraction of an inch deeper into the water's embrace. A feeling of profound surrender. Your breath, and the water are in a slow, quiet dance, a rhythm that has existed for millennia. You begin to notice the smaller things, the microscopic details of the stillness. You can feel the faint, almost imperceptible vibration in the floor, the deep subsonic hum of the hypercaused furnace toiling far beneath you. It is not a sound you hear with your ears, but a feeling you perceive with your whole body, a steady, grounding thrum that is the heartbeat of the building. It is a reminder of the immense, unseen labor that makes this moment of perfect tranquility possible. The slaves feeding the fires, the intricate network of channels distributing the heat. But those thoughts are distant, intellectual. They cannot touch the deep, primal peace that has settled over you. The steam continues its silent, ghostly ballet. You watch it through half-closed lids, veils of white and grey drifting through the shafts of soft golden lamplight. It is the breath of the bathhouse made visible. It catches the light, holds it for a moment, and then dissolves back into the darkness. It blurs the sharp lines of the architecture, softening the rigid geometry of empire into something fluid, organic, and dreamlike. The great columns that support the dome seem less like solid stone and more like the trunks of ancient petrified trees in a mythical forest. The ceiling is no longer a ceiling, but a dark sky, and the echoing water drops are the falling stars. Your mind, now unburdened by plans or memories, is as empty and vast as the hall around you. Thoughts may arise, but they are like the steam. They drift into view, catch the light for a moment, and then dissolve without a trace. There is nothing to hold on to, nothing to analyze. The complex world of politics and power, of favor and fortune, has receded to a vanishing point. Seems trivial, absurd. Here, in the warm, dark, silent water, the only truth is the weight of your own body and the slow, steady rhythm of your own breath. Fapling, asterisk, the drop falls. Its echo is softer this time. Or perhaps the interval between the drops seems to be stretching. Each moment is a vast open space, filled with nothing but warmth and quiet. You feel a heaviness spreading through you, a comfortable, pleasant gravity that is pulling you down, not into the water, but into a deeper state of rest. It is the gravity of sleep. You are a sculpture of a resting man, rendered in flesh and bone, half submerged in the heart of a sleeping empire. The water holds you, the silence holds you, the warmth holds you. There is nothing for you to do. No effort is required. You are being held. The only movement is the slow automatic rise and fall of your chest, a tide governed by a deep internal moon. The air you breathe is soft, warm, and heavy with moisture. The sounds of the bathhouse, the echo, the hum, the lapping water, are becoming a single, unified drone, a lullaby composed by stone and fire and water. It is the sound of the world being shut out, its doors barred, its noises muffled into non-existence. The distance between the water drops is now a lifetime. The echo is a memory of a sound, rather than the sound itself. The light from the lamps seems to be dimming, the golden pools shrinking, the shadows, the mosaics are gone, the columns are gone, the dome is gone. There is only the warm, dark water, and the warm, dark air, and the warm, dark space behind your eyes. They are all becoming one and the same, and the sound of the water is the sound of your own slow heart, and the warmth of the pool is the warmth of your own blood, and the darkness behind your eyes is the same velvet. There is only this moment, this peace, this profound and bottomless stillness. There is nothing left to do now, nothing to think, nothing to feel, except the gentle, heavy pull of sleep.